Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Plubploy Chairat, representative of the group. Today, I'm going to present about research outcome of the quality assessment of the newly modified patient education diagram. When people getting older with bad lifestyle, such as non-exercising, smoking, drinking alcohol, can cause frailty that followed by oral hypofunction. Signs of oral hypofunction are decreased tongue and lip motor function, decreased tongue pressure, reduced occlusal force, reduced masticatory function, oral dryness, and deterioration of swallowing function. On the other hand, oral exercise can improve these oral function problems. That's why we want to make the diagram easier for everyone to understand. Our objectives are, the first one is make a diagram that patient can be used by themselves. And the second one is assess the qualities of the diagram. The method that we use in this research are shown as follows. First, we received the Kenko title oral exercise diagram, a complimentary from Professor Fuji Wataru from Japan. We translated and modified the diagram to create a type version of the oral exercise diagram prototype. Then we invite 9 experts to evaluate the diagram using the PMAT-P guideline. We improved the diagram according to the expert's suggestion. We adapted the diagram from Kenko Taisho to better suit the health literacy of Thai people. First, we translated the diagram from Japanese to Thai language. Then we modified the font, placement of letters, arrows, and numbers to make it easier to read. We also modified the drawing to emphasize the face outline, making it cleaner and easier to distinguish the eye, mouth, and tongue. Also check the diagram's readability, which the result was suit at least the elementary school and appropriate with the elder in Thai. Here are examples from 10 projects of our oral exercise diagram prototype. Step 1, stick out tongue forward for 5 seconds. Step 2 and 3, stick out tongue to the left for 5 seconds and stick out tongue to the right for 5 seconds. Step 4, stick out tongue upward for 5 seconds. Step 5, swallow 1 time. Step 6, open mouth widely and say ah for 5 seconds. Step 7, flatten mouth and say e for 5 seconds. Step 8, make O-shaped mouth and say oo for 5 seconds. Step 9, blow cheek for 5 seconds. Step 10, massage circularly around the face for 10 seconds. Here is the result from PMAT-P. Regarding PMAT-P assessment of the diagram, Shoemaker and Co. developed an assessment tool called Patient Education Material Assessment Tool, which everyone calls it PMAT. PMAT can be divided into 2 categories. The first one is PMAT-P for printable material, and the second one is PMAT-AV for audio-visual material. Our research is based on the leaflet, which is printable material, so we used the PMAT-P to evaluate our diagram. The purpose of PMAT-P is to assess the understandability and actionabilities of the education material. The purpose of PMAT-P is to assess the understandability and actionability of education. The purpose of PMAT-P is to assess the understandabilities and actionabilities of the education material by health literacy Understandability is the ease of understanding an individual need to digest the education material, and actionability is defined as the abilities of an individual to replicate the education material by themselves. Examples of PMAT-P assessment are shown as follows. In the categories of understandability, there are totally 6 topics, which is content, word choice and style, use of numbers, organization, layout and design, use of visual aids. In the categories of actionability, there are 1 topic and 7 subtopics. Based on the PMAT-P evaluation criteria, we sent to 9 experts. In the understandability categories, mean score were 94%. In the actionability categories, mean score were 91%. And from 24 subtopics of the overall score was 93%. This means our diagrams are easy to understand and follow according to the principle of PMAT-P. The percentage agreement graph tells us which subtopic our experts agree on. Some subtopics were less than 80% agreement. These subtopics must be looked into why they are different in opinions. There are 5 items which didn't meet 80% agreement, so we need to adjust these items. But item 17 and 22, which not involved in our diagram, so both of them were excluded and adjust only item 9, 11, and 23. After interpreting 9 experts' opinion, here is our brand new modified diagram. In our leaflet, inner side is oral exercise diagram. Outside, in the front is the summary, and in the back is the checklist, which the patient can list their achieved activity in their routine. Discussion. In our research, we decided to use PMAT-P as a material for assessing our diagram. Comparing to other assessment tools, PMAT-P can assess both actionability and understandability. PMAT-P has the passing marks of 70%, and our research reached the score more than 80%, which means that our diagram is easy to understand and follows. In conclusion, our newly modified patient education diagram provides practical and easy to follow patient information to improve oral function, particularly the elderly. Recommendations for future study. The first one is PMAT has only an English version. To develop in Thai version must be helpful in a widely used in health science research. And the second one is the user guide of the PMAT evaluation tool was long and quite complicated. Thus, further study might summarize the user guide for participants to understand the questionnaire. Here is our advisor and our research team members. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Ms. Plubploy. Does anyone in the room has any question or any comment about the topic?
All kinds of questions are warmly welcomed.
Yes, please. So during waiting, I will have some questions. So Ms. Plubploy, why did you choose this tool, this PMAT-P, for your study?
Because PMAT-P is a tool not only measuring understandability, but it's also measuring actionability as well. While other tools only measuring only understandability, so it's not appropriate with our research.
Could you please explain that in more detail? Why you need PMAT-P to assess your diagram? At the last sentence that you said that the other two might not suitable for your study. So could you please explain more why this one is more suitable than the others?
Because it's easy to understand and easy to follow.
Okay. So is there any other study in Thailand that used this tool, this PMAT-P before?
As far as I know, there was another one research in Thai that used PMAT-P. There was another one, yeah.
So this is quite new in Thailand for this tool?
Yeah, it is quite new in Thailand.
And where this tool come from?
Pardon?
From which organization? Which organization developed this tool?
PMAT-P is actually is established from Department of Health and Human Service in USA and is developed by Shoemaker in 2014. Yeah.
So it's developed by the organization and from the US government, right?
Yes.
Okay. So if there's no question, I have one more. So when you find out from the result that you show that the diagram has a good quality, what do you plan to do next?
What do I plan to do next?
This might be the final question, Dr. Sariya.
Okay.
Because the time is already up.
Okay. Right now we in a process of gathering the subject between self-instruction group and shared site instruction group. For in the future, we will use the diagram with human trial to prove this. It is easy to follow. Yeah.
Thank you very much.